Hello and welcome, my Cancer friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be a group reading for October Mercury Retrograde for my Cancer friends. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we just ended a Mercury retrograde and here we are again entering into a new one. I'm really not going to go into depth into what Mercury retrograde is. There's a lot of websites out there that do a great job explaining the ins and outs of Mercury retrograde. What we're going to look at today, because Mercury retrograde, the basis of it is that it's going to impact all forms of communication in our society. So what we're going to look at is what you can expect from Mercury retrograde, and more importantly, how you can overcome some of these challenges. It's one thing to know about them, but it's important how we're going to look at getting out of them and really maneuvering and working with them. We can't control how Mercury retrograde impacts us. However, we can control our responses, and that's what I really want to hone down today. The deck I chose for this reading is Tarot de la Nuit, or the Tarot of the Night, and then I'll be ending this session off with an oracle blessing from the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. Like always, there will be links below to both these beautiful decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Alright, my Cancer friends, let's see what the cards have to say today. The card represents Mercury retrograde for my Cancer friends. Oh, what a beautiful card. It's going to be a challenge to overcome, but it's a beautiful card nonetheless. The Star. It's the 17th card in the Major Arcana, and it speaks about our hopes and dreams. More importantly, it speaks about balance and energy flow. You're going to find, my Cancer friends, that Mercury retrograde not only impacts your communication, but that energy that's flowing all around is going to impact your ability to maintain balance and to also maintain your energy flows. So if you're big into chakras and Reiki, you're going to find that your chakras are off and you're probably offline too, like they're out of alignment. The Star is a very big proponent in flowing energy, and especially the creative energy. So you'll also find that that creative aspect of yourself may be kind of really dull over the next 3 weeks. So that card is going to overshadow this whole reading. Let's look at the first week. What can my Cancer friends expect from Mercury retrograde in the first week? That's the Nine of Pentacles. Nines are all about all that you've achieved and all that hard work. There's going to be a lot of self-doubt in the first week. You've achieved a lot and you're going to achieve more. However, that first week you're going to start doubting your abilities and yourself. Mercury retrograde impacts a lot more than just our verbal communication. And when I mean verbal communication, I mean with others. Our internal dialogue can get really crappy too. And that's what you're going to find, is that your internal dialogue is going to really be off. This energy that the Star brings is really going to shroud down onto the Nine of Pentacles, and things that you found were amazing may lose their luster a bit in the first week. Let's go on to the second week, my Cancer friends. What does the second week of Mercury retrograde look like for my Cancer friends? Well, that one jumped right out. I'm just glad it didn't hit the floor. The Four of Pentacles. Fours are about stability and foundation. Again, we have another pentacle, that growth and abundance. Your stability is going to be kind of wavering a bit. This kind of uncertainty and questioning your abilities flows into the second week, and that starts to really rock your foundations. That second week, the Star is really starting to unground you and unhinge you. The stability that you have once felt and have been feeling for a while really becomes off, and you become very off kilter, and that you start to really fear and become unstable in the second week. Let's look at the third week. I know I'm probably lifting everybody's spirits here, but I want to get to the nitty-gritty of it so we can start to look at what we can do to kind of alleviate some of this. So what does the third week look like for my Cancer friends? And that's the Two of Swords. Twos are about duality and choice. Swords about knowledge. We're getting some different interference on the third week. The third week, this Two of Swords talks about uncertainty and unknowing on how to make a decision. The traditional deck with Pamela Coleman Smith had a woman sitting with two swords at a crossroads, like a cross in front of her, with her eye and third eye crossed. And that's really going to be impactful here. You're really not going to be able to make a decision clearly or for that best interest. The swords are dull and they are not working as well. Major decision making is not a good idea on the third week. If you can hold off, I would definitely suggest that. Okay, so we know our energies are off and it's really going to impact us, my Cancer friends. Let's look at what we can do to kind of help out. Well, there we go. What can my Cancer friends do to overcome that uncertainty and rebring the shine to the 9? You now have 2 jumpers. 3 jumpers. So it may feel all kind of doom and gloom, but there's lots of help here. Your first jumper, I didn't even get the question out, and it answered, is the 6 of Cups. 6s are about balance. Cups about that emotion and intuition. That 6 of Cups is really going to help bring balance. And that's what you're going to need to do, is that intuitional and emotional balance. You're going to need to bring that in. Check it. When you start to think, oh my God, this isn't working. Oh my God, I should have more. Oh my God. Start to really check into yourself. Bring in that balance. Part of this is about being mindful and recognizing these symptoms. Okay? When you recognize them, you can say, this is Mercury retrograde. What I'm going to do is rebalance myself. The star is going to be off balance. It's going to be work for the next 3 weeks to make sure you maintain and regulate that balance. The next jumper was the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands, like I said here, in this 9, is that you're looking at all that abundance piece, all that you've created. That inner fire is what we're looking at here. That passion that has brought you to the 9 of Pentacles, because Pentacles usually means a financial piece or an abundance piece. This is that passion, that fire and drive that you have to push yourself forward. How you've got to the 9 of Pentacles, because you've been able to do and achieve a lot, is exactly what's going to drive you through that first week. Every time you start to think, I should have more, this isn't as what I want, really start to go back to that passion, revert back. You've got double 9s here. Angel message. When you look at double 9s, you're looking at a time to work on that life's purpose and deeper soul meaning. That's exactly what you need to do. Check into yourself. If it's not what you want, then what is it that you want? This isn't a week for major life decisions. We know that. Or well, not week, but 3 weeks of major life decisions. Start reflecting on that. If this isn't what you want, what is it that you want? Where is that passion and how are those two aligned? You can ask these questions and then you can start making plans. Don't make any major life decisions until after that 3rd week of Mercury retrograde. We have yet another wand that jumped out. This is the final jumper. The Knight of Wands. Knights are that no fear adolescent energy. And that's what you need to have. That first week, you're really going to be hard on yourself. Don't be afraid to be critical of yourself. Your ego is going to be screaming at you because you're offline. That star is going to really be off and shrouded in all sorts of chaos. Mercury retrograde is going to take that star and kind of shake it about. You're going to have that no fear attitude, then using that passion and inner fire, that solar plexus, focus in, especially on this first week, on your solar plexus. If you're not into Reiki and you're not into your chakras and you want to know more, all I say is a yellow stone, something like citrine. Anything that is yellow will help align and work on your solar plexus. That's that inner strength and inner fire. That's where that resides. Okay. First week, we know we're going to be looking at balancing and that inner fire. Let's look at the second week. Again, we have more jumpers. What can my Cancer friends do for the second week to overcome the challenges of another one, Mercury retrograde? May have felt all doom and gloom, but you've got lots of jumpers here. The Ace of Pentacles. When things are not going well here on the second week and you're feeling really unstable, it is time to ground. It is time to really hone in and check into that stability. Why do you have that fear? Why do you feel unstable? Because when things are off, and we know they're going to be, when that stability is off, that's when fear comes in. And especially when we're looking at the Nine of Pentacles being before, and we're looking at a lot of bigger life issues, whether or not you're happy, you can feel unstable. Bring it down to basics. Bring it back down to grounding yourself, giving yourself that time and appreciation, and really check into how stable things are. You've managed to come quite a far ways. Use that and keep reminding yourself and check into the fact that this is Mercury retrograde. This is the final jumper that came out, and that's the Five of Cups. Fives are a conflictual number. Cups are about that intuition and emotion. Now the Five of Cups is a card that shows you that you're not paying attention, and this week you definitely will not be paying attention to what's right in front of you. Pamela Coleman Smith drew this card as an individual who was focusing in on 3 toppled cups, and all their contents had poured out. There are 2 cups behind that individual that are standing upright, and that's exactly what they're saying. You need to focus in on what you actually have rather than what you think or what you want. We can't make major decisions during this 3 weeks. If you can avoid it, hold it off. Contemplate it, let it sit, let it simmer, if you will. Focus in what you do have right here, right now. Focus in on that grounding. Take things slow and be very kind to yourself. All right, let's look at what we can do in the third week. What can my Cancer friends do for the third week of Mercury retrograde to overcome some of these challenges that they're going to face, especially with the Two of Swords? It's a beautiful card. Strength. Goes again back to that solar plexus, but that solar plexus on steroids. Strength is the 7th card in the Major Arcana. This card talks about that inner ability to make things happen and do things that people think are impossible. Taming that lion, if you will. And taming that lion not with strength, fear, or harm, but with those natural abilities of love and light. That's what you need to be focusing in on that third week. Focusing in on those abilities that have brought you so far and using them to outwit that lion. Again, I still would avoid making any major life issues until you have critically thought about it, and that maybe Mercury retrograde has left us. If you can avoid that major life issue, and really, and I don't mean avoidance where you put your head in the sand. I mean avoid making that decision, and while you're waiting, while you're in this, seek that knowledge space. Mercury retrograde is not a good time, and especially here where you've got your energies all over, to shift from your heart. Don't make decisions from your heart. You need to use your head. Use that knowledge piece. Your brain is going to be impacted as well by Mercury retrograde, but not as much. because knowledge does not hold emotion. We cannot be functioning from a point of emotion. We need to be functioning from a point of that education knowledge piece and that passion piece. See what your shadow self wants to add? It's the 5th card in the Major Arcana, the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the gatekeeper. He's the gatekeeper to the universe, to that higher source. That higher source, even though we're having communication problems, will still be there for you. It will be important that you seek out support. Even if you're not understanding and clearly receiving the messages, it's going to be really important that you ask. Put those intentions out. Your intentions will really strengthen that power of the 7 here. Now we do have double 5s, the 5th card in the Major Arcana and the 5 of Cups. In angel messages, when you're looking at double 5s, you're looking at a positive change coming your way. And that's very much what we're looking at. Yes, there's going to be lots of things that you're going to have to check into and that you're going to have to really validate for yourself. However, when you start to really take those blindfolds off and use those inner skills and strengths that you have, you're going to find that there's going to be more meaning and fulfillment. You go from the heart and positive and love, and that's what you're going to get back. What you put out, you get back. All right, my Cancer friends, let's look at a blessing. What blessing do we have for my Cancer friends this October Mercury retrograde? Butterflies in gloom. After sadness, happiness and hope returns. Mercury retrograde always gives us problems. Gives us problems with everything, technology, life, and it does bring about sadness and it does bring about hardship. We can use our strengths to push ourselves forward. We can learn from this. However, the card is right. There's the light at the end of the tunnel. Mercury retrograde only lasts for 3 weeks, or just a couple days above 3 weeks. That star will return. The star will regain its balance and composure, and you're going to find that it lights brighter at the end of this. For those who wish, you can pause the video here and reflect on the cards. This is a group reading, however, I drew these cards especially for my Cancer friends. What further information do they want to share for you? Like I said, this is a group reading. If you're looking for a more specific or personal reading, you can follow the link below and schedule a private reading with myself. For those who are interested, I will be running online interactive and introductory classes on Zoom over the next couple of months. My first class is on November 11th, where I'll be running my Introductions to Angels and Archangels class. Then on December 9th, I'll be running my Introductions to Connecting, which is a channeling class. If you're interested in both or either of these classes, you can find out more information and register on my website. I provided a link below to my classes page, so you can just go there and check it out. I hope you found this video fun and helpful, and that you were able to gain some direction and insight into what Mercury retrograde is going to bring for you. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I'm going to keep making more and fun, dynamic videos for my Zodiac friends. If you have any thoughts or ideas, please leave them below. I'm always up for feedback from my friends. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. You never know where I'm going to go next, and I'd hate for you to miss a video. Also, if you like this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. On some of my tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Cancer friends.